Hello everyone, this is Dave from Moonride, where we're channeling the man in the moon. Today we're going to take a look at Donald Trump. Before I do, I really want to recommend that everybody take a moment to revel in the last election. It might not have seemed like the greatest victory, but it really was. You can take a look at how unhappy Donald Trump is to know that we have really clipped his wings and ensured that our democracy, the integrity of justice, will move forward. Every one of you viewers are responsible for that. Even if you just voted and didn't do anything more, the fact that your consciousness was there, considering these problems, hoping, praying, doing whatever consciousnesses do to create this result, that is your doing, no one else's. So take a moment to congratulate yourself. I know the work isn't done, but we need to revel in this victory and understand that it was we that changed the future here. Let's take a look at Donald Trump and see what he's going to do next. Mm. So he's very much in the Oval Office. It's kind of like a trapped animal. I mean, it's almost like a cage that he is in. Because I see him going from one end of the room to the other end of the room, just trying to do things. He's very, very frustrated. Yeah, there's almost even a moment of self-reflection, but not quite. He looks at pictures of his parents behind his desk. That does something for him, but he can't really go there and analyze and understand why he is the way he is. Yeah, he really is approaching a stage of psychosis, I think. Just like Richard Nixon would, start talking to the portraits. He's kind of talking to Andrew Jackson's portrait, and almost yelling at him, like almost mad that he doesn't come through that portrait and help him. And very alienated. Even people that he knows, like Kellyanne Conway, comes to his office, and it's almost like he doesn't know her. It's just so the distance has become so great that it feels like psychosis to me. It feels like somebody having a breakdown, and no one's on his side. Now Melania's walking in the door. She's got her agenda. She has all these things that she wants for herself, and he can't really balance all these things. Interestingly enough, the White House is kind of, as people are walking the door, it's filling in with beach sand. I know it's almost like there's like really literally beach sand all over the floor in the hallways. That she's specifically walking through. She's walking through beach sand to get to his office. I don't quite know what that means. Hmm. Okay. I think the beach sand means like she's halfway out of that White House. I think she's seriously considering leaving and just, going and living on an island. There's nothing for her to lose at this point. Just, she lives with an unpleasant person. She has a very unpleasant role, a thankless role. And she never wanted to be in the spotlight. In a sense, that I think that she's actually, in a way, calling up forth her own power. I mean, Melania Trump has just finally said, I never asked for this. I didn't want to do this. I've been too generous, and now I'm done. And I really don't care about this guy who's pretty much taken everything I gave him for granted. It's like she has no love there. Why is she sticking around for some kind of superficial agreement? Yeah, I think she's gonna leave him. I see her turning away, and I see Donald. It's very much like a Citizen Kane moment, where he's sort of broken. Despite all his piggishness, there was some element about Melania that he did care about. I think that although it wasn't very clear, she was a connection to him for some kind of emotions. Yeah, and one issue too is that she's thinking of Baron Trump, and he's really upset that the Baron Trump may no longer be present. It's like she's going to take the kid with her, and that's that. Yeah, Melania is showing me a piece of paper. I'm assuming it's a divorce proceedings, and she's handing it to him to sign it. Okay, I gotta say, just summarizing what I'm seeing. It's funny because the divorce proceeding looks like an old scroll where you have to sign your name with a quill. And issues of money are going to come up too, because of course in her divorce they're going to find out they have to find out how much money he has so that they can have the divorce, and so that's another threat, and she just does not care about that. She's done caring about Donald Trump. She's finally said enough is enough. Hmm. It's just very interesting that this feminine aspect has really come and hit Donald Trump at home. Whatever we might think of Melania Trump, we can respect the fact that she has set a limit. And that feminine aspect is coming forth, in his home, if not, indirectly. It is literally in his face that a number of women candidates were voted in, etc. This is one of the most upsetting things for Donald Trump. The fact that more women got elected is infuriating to him because it means that his way of life, his way of dominating the feminine, if you will, is that's all about his. That's who he is. That's where he wants the country to go. That's who votes for him. It is like almost like a virus that he has that's consumed him. Is this sort of domination of women? All these women have been voted into positions of power to challenge him. This is why he was so angry at the press conference, and why he was so tough on all those people, especially the women, those two black women who were asking him questions. He was just so mad that they represent a destruction of his power. So what else can we know about Donald Trump? He's also seething about some military things. So I think he has not had that much success in several areas, and he's really seething. He's really worried, actually, that some of the things that he did are going to backfire. And the situation in North Korea comes to mind. He's just becoming quite paranoid about his military and whether it works or not. And he doesn't really understand why throwing more weapons didn't work, right? Well, he just signed this huge bill and lots of money for the industrial military complex, and but you know, nothing's happened. Nothing's benefited for him, and he's also extremely worried about Afghanistan, because it does look like there are withdrawing. The American troops are going to withdraw from some regions. And I do see those troops withdrawing. I think he's gotten to the point where he has no choice but to withdraw those troops, and it's going to soon become public how much ground he has lost. So, Spirit, what else can you tell me? What else do people need to know about Donald Trump? Yeah, I just keep seeing him very frustrated. I really feel like we've clipped his wings. It's just as I'm seeing here, he seems completely impotent. He's full of rage. It just doesn't go anywhere. He's also very mad about the Whitaker, who he thought would cover up thought he'd be able to cover up the investigation, and now it looks like he realizes that he cannot. He realizes the implications of what the Dems taking over the House will be. Hmm. I keep seeing something coming around full circle. It's like full circle, and it's sort of like a new vision, or we'll get back to where we were before, but better. That's like it's almost like a message of consolation for everybody that we will get back to where we used to be, and maybe even a little better. Because I do also see like a vision, like a new eye has opened. One thing about Trump is that we have learned a lot. We learned a lot about who our government is, how they function, and what rights we really still have as individuals in a democracy. So there is some good coming out of all of this, actually, a lot of good. One could argue that this is exactly what's supposed to happen. I understand that's cold comfort for so many people who've been so badly affected by this horrific administration. But on the bright side, I want everybody to know that they are learning a good deal. This could have happened in a subtle way, and that would have been much, much worse. It happened in a very obvious way. And that was really for a reason, so that we could all see what was happening, right? If you feel nervous at this time, it's really important to notice just everything, to act, but also to observe what is really going on, what's really happening, how does this work. This is just information for us for the future of other people who would take over our government. All right, and on that note, thanks so much for watching.